The 2026 Evergreen State Kit is here, celebrating soccer throughout Washington State. Featuring a bright green base with dark and light blue accents on the shoulders and sleeve cuffs, the kit will be paired with light blue shorts and socks. Inspired by the club's Forever Green and For Evergreen motto, the Evergreen State Kit embodies the spirit, texture, and landscapes of the Pacific Northwest. Continuing the club's long and proud tradition of Northwest inspiration, the Evergreen State Kit includes 52 sparks for the 52 mini pitches built in communities across Washington by the Ray Foundation. The lower corner is emblazoned with the Evergreen State in reference to Washington's historical nickname. Order yours today at lobbingscorchers.com/kit. That's lobbingscorchers.com/KIT. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your post-match live for Matchday 6 in MLS. The Seattle Sounders just took a 1-0 victory at Houston. Paul Rothrock with the game winner. We're going to be breaking it down. We're going to be basking in the dub. We're going to be listening to the presser. And we're going to be taking calls all right here on your post-match live. A lot to get to tonight, folks. A big win, obviously, ahead of an even bigger game Wednesday evening at Tigres. If you haven't heard, the Seattle Sounders are also in the CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinals. And I think that's actually a good place to start as we kill time here before the Schmetzer presser. This game was always going to be a bit of a difficult proposition. You got CCC on Wednesday. You got to rotate a little bit. We'll talk about that as well. It was raining cats and dogs down there in Houston. There was a weather delay, so a little bit of adversity for the Seattle Sounders tonight. And there was lengthy stretches of this game, folks, where I don't know about you all, but I had kind of resigned myself to the 0-0. I'd gone through the phase of coping and rationalizing of, 0-0 is probably fine here. It's probably fine. It won't be the greatest 0-0 in the world, but there are more important things at hand right now with CCC. So if you got to grind out these 0-0s on the road while you're doing that, I guess that's fine. That's where I was at. I was doing the same cope and rationalization that I was doing after the Minnesota game. And I won't lie, though, I was a little bit frustrated about that just because it felt like the chances were there in this game, even beforehand. 1 second while I listen to them give us the info on the presser. Looks like the audio check came through clear for the hostage video. So the hostage video will be live in just a couple of minutes here. So I will pull that up as soon as we see Brian Schmetzer or a player. Right now, it was just Sounders PR. So, but that should be getting rolling in just a few minutes here. So I'll pull that up for you guys. But what was I talking about? I had resigned myself to the 0-0, and I was a little bit tilted about that because there was a couple good chances in this game. Jesus Ferreira, of course, had that one in the first half where Jonathan Bond made a good save on him. And then there was the other one in the second half where it was Paul Areola over the top. He's trying to find Moose on a little cutback action, takes a deflection and almost went in. That was a good chance too. So when you're in one of these grinded out road games like this with fixture congestion and a little bit of squad rotation in Houston, Texas, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But who came to the rescue again? Who came to the absolute rescue again? Paul Rothrock, he might just be the mayor of Houston at this point. They should probably give him a key to the city because it feels like every time that man plays the Houston Dynamo, he scores a game winner. You'll recall the legend of Paul Rothrock was originally created at Shell Energy Stadium. The first MLS goal he ever scored, I believe, was on that exact field. And that was back in the days when we were like, oh, Paul Rothrock, who's this guy? Then he scored the game winner in Houston, remember? And we were like, oh, okay. And then even at that point, we were all like, it's Paul Rothrock. We don't really know what to make of this. And then as we know from there, it spawned the legend of Paul Rothrock. And he did it again tonight in a very big spot. Gets the game winner around the 80th, 81st minute, ball over the top. I believe it was KKR who sent it in. Jordan Morris flicks it on. Primary assist for Jordan Morris on that goal. Great to see. And there you have it. There was a lot of pressure absorbed in this game. Houston did have their chances. Guilherme had made Andrew Thomas make one really good save in the first half, and Andrew Thomas was busy in this game at times. But once again, the defense, as it's been doing on this road trip, the Seattle Sounders Roadshow, the defense buckles down again, gets a clean sheet on the road against a team that is, I think we kind of saw in this game why the Houston Dynamo are not really living up to my offseason take that they were going to be kind of a sleeper team. But they have a lot of talented attacking players. Ezequiel Ponce, no slouch. Guilherme is legit. Pretty sure that guy's going to have a big year. They still got Hector Herrera. But Guilherme in particular, he was giving the Sounders some trouble. And the defense held strong. So shout out to the defense, not only tonight, but through the whole Seattle Sounders Roadshow. The Seattle Sounders Roadshow is going to Tigres, and then they are finally going to get a home game, which is exciting. Haven't had a lot of those this year. So I would say we'll probably do some content next week where we assess the road trip more holistically, the Seattle Sounders Roadshow more holistically. But honestly, after this win, I don't know about you guys. I'm pretty thrilled, honestly, with the haul from the Seattle Sounders Roadshow. And that's another thing. This type of game, this team was not winning last year. They weren't. And they have been winning that type of game this year, which is very encouraging. A lot of you are noting the background. Yes, it's a different studio. I'm down in Eugene. I've been Passovering all week, guys. Okay. Hanging out with the family, celebrating Pesach. This is my dad's house, in my dad's office, streaming in my dad's office. Shout out to my dad. Let me use the office to stream. But I'll be back in Seattle tomorrow, 7:45 a.m. Amtrak tomorrow. I'll be back, and we'll be more on a little bit more of our normal rhythm next week. It has been, I was a little MIA this week, had to observe the holiday. But we'll be back on the normal schedule next week. And a big week it is with CONCACAF Champions Cup coming up midweek. So getting right back into the content. But quick update. All right, we've been told that for the hostage video, we have Paul Rothrock and Christian Roldan coming in to talk to the assembled media on Zoom. So that's kind of a star-studded cast. We'll get Paul Rothrock's take on his latest game winner in Houston, and it's always good to hear from Christian Roldan, especially after coming back from USMNT camp. So that should be starting per Sounders PR in just a couple of minutes here, and we'll get to hear their takes on it. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Shout out to my dad. Take nothing out of this game other than the smash and grab. Tigres is the real focus. Absolutely. And that's not just how I feel about this game, but that's how I felt about kind of all these games that have been going on while CCC is going on. You have to smash and grab. Smashing and grabbing is one of the most important skills an MLS team can have. That's what I would say about these games. Even the Minnesota 0-0 and this game, was it the prettiest victory of all time? No, it wasn't. Have these games been super pretty lately while they've been playing in CCC? No. But like I said, last year, this team was in a lot of these situations and they would either give up the opener or they would give up the equalizer. And there was a lot of points dropped in those situations. So I think overall, one of the things I'm most encouraged by at the start of the season here is the fact that they are winning these games, and even the Minnesota game where you draw the game, that's a game that could have and probably would have been a loss last year. So the fact that that was a draw, this type of game was more often than not, I feel like, a draw last year. It was a win tonight. So that's great to see. And that's another thing that I was thinking about was that there's going to be sequences of these CCC games against Tigres coming up where they're going to have to suffer and endure like they were in Minnesota and in Houston. So hopefully that's it's character building, and it'll serve them well as CCC continues, because let's be real, this Tigres team, it's a bit of a different animal than a lot of the teams they've been playing. And there's going to be sequences of those games where you're under it and you feel like they're on top of you and they're generating chances. Andrew Thomas or Stephen Fry, it will be, but whoever's in goal is going to have to be swatting stuff away, standing on their head. So the fact that they're getting in all these reps, doing exactly that on the road this whole time, Seattle Sounders Roadshow, my hope is that it will prepare them for this Tigres series. We'll see if that actually pans out. We can talk about the lineup a little bit while we wait for Schmetz, because there was some talk about that, including on our socials. It was Jesus Ferreira at the 10 tonight. Albert Rusnak came off the bench. He subbed in the second half. So I'm sure Schmetz will get asked about that. My take on it was that they're saving a little capital for Wednesday. I'm not so sure it was like because there's been talk over the last couple games, including on our show, about how Albert Rusnak was not in the typical form of Albert Rusnak. So maybe that's why he wasn't starting tonight, but I'm not, we'll see what Schmetz says, but I'm not so sure about that. And if you look at the rest of the lineup, you could say, oh, well, Jesus Ferreira wasn't rotated out. Christian Roldan wasn't rotated out. Jackson Reagan wasn't rotated out. Why would Albert Rusnak be rotated out? It's because none of those three guys ever get rotated out. When has Brian Schmetzer ever rotated out Christian Roldan and Jesus Ferreira and Jackson Reagan? That doesn't happen. Albert Rusnak, he's more of a senior player. He's like my age. Okay. Guys like us, we need a break sometimes. You can weigh yourself on the scale. Yes. We got a scale. We got you can't even see it. You can't see it. I didn't plan this background well enough. My dad was telling me to put the picture of the cat in the background, and I did, but it's like you can't really see it, and it's the reflection. So, Matt,
Paul, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
I don't know if you guys can
Christian
hear that.
is joining you as well. Thank you for your time, Christian. We appreciate it. We'll get going immediately to questions, beginning with Jeremiah O'Shan.
Yeah, Paul, it seems like you really enjoy scoring in Houston. What is there something about Houston that you just you like it so much?
Yeah, I think as athletes, you build stories in your head, and I think Houston's one of those places where I have some really positive memories. It's my first MLS goal I scored here, and a couple other plays in the past. And yeah, you think about those before the game, you try and build on them, and we've had some good results here in the past too. So I think there's something about the storm too. Every time we come, there's like a lightning storm as well, and so I felt like things might repeat themselves a little bit. And sure enough, it came later than I think we all hoped and expected. But yeah, really happy with the result tonight.
Alex, Miles, over to you, please.
Thank you. Hey, Paul, as you make your way into Sounder lore and become one of those recognizable player, I'm wondering if you've thought about the guy to your right. He played his 400th game today and just what can you say about that? Because we got to give him his flowers while he's still here.
Yeah. This guy is a guy who I've looked up to for a long time. I told you guys the story already of me having his cleats as a high school kid, or his signature on my cleats. And it's really cool to get to play beside him. And, he's doing things a lot. He's doing a lot of things that I aspire to do, with the national team and with the club. And I'm not even at 100 games yet. He's at 400 already. So he looks like an old guy. He's only a couple of years older than me. So, I feel very lucky to have guys like that at this club that are still playing and, get to show us the way and show us what this club's about. And I just try and, copy that and emanate that. And, it's cool getting to play with this guy and getting to hang out with this guy.
All right, we'll go over to Jada Evans next. Jada, go for it, please. Jada, you should be good to go. All right, we'll come back there. We'll next.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me
We
now?
can hear you now, Jada. Go ahead, please.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations on the win, y'all. Christian, you guys faced a lot of pressure from them. Can you kind of talk a little bit about the resiliency that you guys had to, absorb that and then be able to create a goal there or opportunity there at the end?
Yeah, really important to be able to win in multiple ways. And today was another example of creating chances with the run of play, but also defending really well, defending in a low block as a team, compact. And I think that's been a staple, especially this year, something we've been wanting to get back into. Last year we emphasized a lot of goal scoring, but then we conceded a whole lot of goals. And so how could we be the best version of ourselves? How could we grind out games on the road? And today was a great example of being able to play and trying to play in our system, but as well as absorb, defend under pressure and get a result on the road.
And then, Paul, could you talk a little bit about the, just the number of players? There's a lot of transition or a lot of substitutions, things like that was more than usual for y'all. So can you talk about the way that you guys have been able to build chemistry, I'm guessing, in training to be able to handle those kind of changes with lineup and still look unified?
Yeah, I think, the credit there goes to the coaching staff. I think over the past few years, we're, even since the time I've been here, year after year, we're carving more of an identity for ourselves. And I think, the roles are becoming clear. Our shape is becoming really clear. And I think that really helps players because they then know what their role is when they go in different spots. They know what it should look like. I think that's why we had a lot of success of like just our depth and guys coming off the bench too, because the roles are clear, our system's clear. And, that's not easy too with set pieces. I think they had a number of set pieces, a number of corners, and you have to change things fast on the fly. Who's marking the short area, man marks are changing too. I thought we did a really good job of that tonight of staying organized with that. And I think the substitutions too, it's a really hard environment to play in. It's really humid. You could probably see that tonight. Guys were tired, and we've got another game in 4 days time too. So we want to be fresh for that, and credit to everybody tonight. It was a good Sounders win.
All right, George, we're coming your way next. Go ahead, please.
So, Christian, I just wanted to know a little bit how you prepare mentally and physical, because you've had a lot of high-intensity games with the U.S. men's national team, Belgium, Portugal, now Houston. I understand you didn't even make it back home, and then you had to go to Mexico. And also, if you have a direct contact with Mauricio Pochettino, if you can send them some highlight reels of the guy next to you, because I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I think the guy to my left is on fire. Certainly has the quality to be there with the national team. He's a person. He's a great person, but also he understands the game. He's so smart. He learns so fast, and his rise to the starting lineup, to his contract, speaks volumes of who he is as a person. So congratulations to Paul on 5 goals already this year, and I know there's many more in the tank. For me, look, I've played in a lot of games. It's at this point, right, it comes very natural. There's less butterflies than I once had. But for me, I think what I enjoy the most is, careers are short. Health is so important to be able to sustain a lot of games, and so being available for me is the most important thing. So taking care of my body, making sure I sleep a whole lot. Honestly, that's been what has kept me on the field, to be honest. And so for me, being around the group, right? Careers are short. You never know what's going to happen. I'm just enjoying every moment, still loving the game, and I hope I can play a few more.
All right, Nico and Toon, you've got the next question. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I wanted to get both of your takes on your goalkeeper's performance. Thomas made a couple of clutch saves that kept the team level, and then, of course, Paul followed through with that winning goal. So would love to get your thoughts on his performance.
Yeah. I think Andrew's playing amazing this year. And, you guys mentioned the national team. I think he's up there with all the keepers in the U.S. right now. He's playing unreal. Makes a huge plays for us. That save he made in the first half, I think he gives us a lot of confidence back there. And I think that's, a very important marker of a successful team is when you have a goalkeeper like that. And I feel like we have 2. So the fact that we can, play Andrew in the league and then have Steph Fry, who's also an amazing keeper, come in too. I mean, we're very fortunate, and that's credit to Tommy Dutra and those 2 guys for keeping a healthy competition and, just being really steady professionals.
All right, we've got time for 1, maybe 2 follow-ups tops. Jeremiah, if you have one, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Christian, you guys just finished a 5-game road trip to start the MLS portion of the season. You guys went 3-1-1. If you could just speak to a little bit of what you think has been key to that. You guys have also played 7 straight games away from Lumen Field. You're going to be playing 8, and it seems like you guys don't seem to be bothered by these games away from home.
Yeah, in summary, it's really difficult to play on the road. To be away from your families for so long. It's credit to the environment that our coaches have created, the environment that the players have created, the locker room in itself, the front office to be able to build the type of locker room that we have, the type of depth that we have. I think everybody's pitching in. At times you have to defend in a low block. At times you have a lot of success on the ball. At times it becomes really difficult, but I think our team is so connected, so glued together. I keep reiterating how close this team is. And I really think that that's been a huge part of our success. It's, this tight-knit group that is willing to battle for each other when the time comes.
All right, last one. We'll go back to Maz. Go ahead, Maz.
You know what, Alex? I can save it for coach and let them go.
Sounds good.
All right,
gents. Thank you very much. Get some rest before the next
Thanks,
trip.
guys. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, he kind of answered it. Thanks.
Oh, no worries at all, Maz. Appreciate you. Okay, we're going to reset the deck here for head coach Brian Schmetzer. So if you have a question for him, please go ahead and re-raise that raised hand function button, and we'll get to it.
There you have it. From Paul Rothrock and Christian Roldan. After a 1-0 victory over the Houston Dynamo, we'll get Brian Schmetzer on there in just a couple minutes. It looks like they're adjusting the podium a little bit, straightening his chair out, but we should get Schmetzer in there shortly. And, while we wait for that, I will say that last question from JL, it kind of hit on what I was going to talk about anyway, which is that if you look at where the Seattle Sounders stand right now, at third place in the Western Conference, and actually technically tied right now, although I believe LAFC is in prime position to win their match tonight. They're ahead 6-0 against Orlando City, which Orlando City, I guess it would have been a lot to ask for them to put up a fight there. But Brian Schmetzer's on the stage right now, so I'm going to hold this point.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing
Congratulations.
great. It's so good to see you. Where's the Sounder backdrop?
All right. Would you like an opener tonight?
Well, I'd love to know where the Sounder backdrop is.
All right. We'll connect after. Would you like an opener tonight?
No.
Maybe. I'll start with an opener because, there's one, I'm sure one of the sharp reporters is going to ask me, but I'll just come out and say that, Christian Roldan's 400 appearance for the club, is a really big milestone. We remember scouting Christian when he was playing at the UW. I used to go down and watch him train at practice and everything. And back then he had good training habits. We just knew he was going to be a pro. And then the whole, that whole draft day when me and Kurt were talking to Zig and Zig was talking to Garth and Garth going around to like the 12 tables to find a team that was willing to trade down and us to come up to grab him. And we finally grabbed him at 16, 17. I mean, what a tremendous story that is for a kid who has helped us win countless games, countless trophies, his work ethic, his soccer acumen, all of the things on the field. And then you want to talk about, just nowadays talking about good human beings is maybe not as often as we should, but what a great human being, family man, his wife, the kids, his family, everything about him. He's just such a tremendous person. And I couldn't be prouder. And I think the club and the fans should really be thankful that Christian has been with us for 400 games, because that's a pretty big number. But, all of the little things he's done in that time, in those 400 games, what a great professional and a great Seattle Sounder.
All right. With that, we'll go over to media questions. Maz, why don't you go ahead and lead us off this time?
Yep. Brian, for a team to execute a smash and grab, the classic one, what
Outpossessed them, Maz. We outpossessed them.
Well, that was your intent going in. You said you needed sustained possession. But the ability to turn it on the 81st minute, I mean, you down the right side, what does that take?
Well, Maz, you are correct. It felt like a smash and grab because look, they were on top of us with set pieces. Guilherme's the real deal, by the way. He's good. Mm-hmm. He is as advertised. And Ponce and Bogic. I mean, they've got a really good front three. But the one time that Kalani, look, he struggled in the attacking part of the field a little bit, but he delivers the ball. And Jordan coming on as a sub, as the number 9, he gets up and he gets his head on it first. And Paul doing what Paul does at the back post, had to clean it up a little bit because that wasn't an easy finish. The goalkeeper was coming out, making himself big. I mean, it kind of was a smash and grab. What I would tell you is that our team, that team in the locker room in there, just seems to figure out ways how to grind out victories on the road. And as well as anybody, it's not easy to win on the road. It's not easy to even get points on the road, a draw. But we came out with a gritty performance because the guys just, grinded it out. They weren't great in the first half, but, they kept going.
All right, Jada, over to you, please.
Thanks. Congratulations on the win, Brian. I wanted to ask a little bit about the the rotations. Was that, because you've got another big game coming up, or, can you kind of explain a little bit? Because that was a lot more than typical for you.
I'm going to try and break that. I'm going to try and break that narrative before I leave the club at some point. People are going to say I sub because it's the right time to sub. We used all 5 subs. Alex coming in at the end. I think Peter Kingston came on, did a great job. But Jada, look, the good thing for me as a coach, and I got to give kudos to Craig. I mean, we have a deep squad. I mean, look who I brought on the field. Jordan, Albert, Hassani, and then, Kingston. Peter Kingston's a new kid on the block. Alex. And we're winning games where the team is in a good run of form. Everybody understands their roles and responsibilities. And yes, it was absolutely with an eye towards Wednesday. But at the end of the day, guys are making my job really hard, because Paul's a left winger, but Jordan plays over there, or Pedro's going to play over there. And Jordan played up front, but Masasi scored 18 goals, and Osaze and Albert and Jesus, and on the right side, Paul Ariola put in a good shift. And then we put Snyder up there because Hassani and Christian are in the middle of the field. And, it goes on and on. So I've got like 16, 17 starters on the squad. And so what looks to be like, abnormal substitutions is really the fact that we have a deep squad.
And you kind of touched on it a little bit there, but the way that they are able to come in and, you don't lose shape, you don't lose you don't lose too much. Actually, not much.
We don't lose anything. We don't lose anything.
But is that you've obviously returned a lot of players, but still, is that ahead of schedule for you to have this much synchronization with the team? Despite
I don't know if it's ahead of schedule, Jada, but I know where you're going with this. It's not because we're ahead of schedule. It's just because we have a deep squad. Because I can bring a guy on, and look, Jesus was fine, and Moose was fine, and Paul Ariola were fine. But again, look who I replaced him with. I brought 3 veteran players off the field, and I brought 3 veteran players on the field. And so again, it comes down to the job that Craig has done to give me a good roster, a deep roster, allows me to make substitutions earlier, or substitutions, because look, all the players they're human beings. They're not perfect. So if one guy's having an off day, which might happen, guess what? We can bring another guy on, and he's going to do the same thing. And then the final piece I'll say to this substitution question, Jada, is that's going to be the tool that us as coaches use to drive the group, because they know their places aren't confirmed. I mean, nobody has a, guaranteed spot. I mean, maybe there's a couple guys, but there's competition in a lot of different places, and that's just going to raise the level of our team.
Okay, Jeremiah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I guess along these same lines, you've now played 5 straight league games on the road. You claimed points in all but one of them. You've already won 3 road games. I mean, this has to be. What would you say the key to these road performances are, and the way that you're sort of managing games?
It's John Elsenblatt, our video guy, put together this graphic of the road show, and he put bullseyes with the 7 or 8 road games that we have now, because we're adding Tigres. And we've got bullseyes, and the players are laser focused on winning road games because, we're on the road. So I'm going to give kudos to John and, the coaching staff. They've done a great job preparing the guys for Jeremiah. I can't say this enough. It's so hard to even get points on the road in MLS, but we're actually winning games.
All right, next question. We'll go to George.
Coach, I know that your focus is on MLS Cup, but do you think that you're going to make a run for the Supporters Shield for this year? For a lot of fans, especially the ones from European countries, Supporters Shields has a special flavor to it.
Well, I know that was one of the things we discussed within the team in the locker room. You know, this first stretch of road games, we weren't going to win the Supporter Shield in this first stretch of games, but we could certainly have lost the Supporter Shield in this first stretch of games. So we haven't lost that goal. It's still there. And again, that's credit to the players in that locker room. What I would tell you is that the West is going to be a dogfight. If you watch San Jose, LAFC, San Diego, Vancouver, look, there are a lot of talented teams. You know, the East has some good teams. I mean, the Supporter Shield is certainly a very challenging trophy to win. But for as long as we keep winning games on the road, George, we're going to give ourselves a chance.
All right, Nico Antun, go ahead, please.
Hi, Brian. Congratulations on the win. Andrew Thomas made a couple of great saves during the game, so I wanted to get your thoughts on his performance. And, of course, the next MLS game will be back at Lumen Field. So just wanted, of course, I'm sure the answer is obvious, but wanted to get your thoughts on returning to Lumen.
Andrew was great. The shutout of the year. So that's good. Look, he's got a ways to catch Steph, but he's on a good trajectory. I think his management of the game, you know, when we're up 1-0, I thought towards the end of the game, he managed it really well. So there's growth in that department. You obviously saw his shot stopping in the first half, some of the saves he made to keep us in the game. Tremendous. So super proud of him. Again, it's due to the hard work that Tommy Dutra does with the goalkeepers. I mean, Steph's in a great run of form in CCC. Andrew's killing it in league play. You know, it's due to Tommy and the way he works the goalkeepers. Best goalkeeper coach in the league by far.
All right, we'll take one or two follow-ups, starting with Jeremiah's.
Yeah, you know, Paul seems to have this penchant for scoring goals, especially in Houston, but he does in general just seem to be playing at a different level this year. Are you seeing anything different in the way that he's approached the game, or something that he sort of did to level up a little bit?
Double nickels. That's what I said in the locker room, because Andrew has 5 shutouts and Paul has 5 goals this season. Double nickels. Paul Rothrock had, you know, his story is a well-known story. His application, his work, his hard work, his desire, all that sort of stuff. But the thing that Paul has done, Jeremiah, is when guys are doing extra work after training, you know, and sometimes the shooting practice, because look, the team needs to enjoy themselves. So after a Matchday -4 or, you know, Matchday -1, it's a little bit of a lighter mood within the group, and they all go down with prec and they're doing some finishing and shooting. But what is Paul doing? Paul's actually going over here and working on him crossing the ball with his left foot in between the goalkeeper and the last center back, or he's doing something else that's not just fun, but it's actually work. And so his application of what he feels he needs to continue to be a starter on the squad, because he understands that there's Jordan and there's Peppo coming back and there's competition. So his application of what he sees in the bigger picture of where his career is or could be is complemented by his sheer desire to be part of this club, a starting member of this club. And in his word, he wants to win another ship.
Whoa.
And I had to ask him, well, what does that mean, a ship? And he goes, championship. And I said, oh, okay, thanks for letting me know. But that's what that kid wants to have.
All right, Maz, you got the last one.
Hey, Brian, you know what? I could actually pick any player to talk about this, but I'm just the unselfishness and commitment to the team. I'd like to ask that question about Jesus since day one he came here. Goal scorer, you put him here, you put him there. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a shot at goal.
Should have scored tonight. That movement, that play in the first half, should have scored. I mean, the goalkeeper made an unbelievable save. So Jesus has been great. super talented player. His vision, Maz, I love that. His vision, his ability to find a final pass. Now, you could say sometimes he needs to understand when to put his foot on the gas and when to kind of slow it down a little bit. I think he's still young. I think he can still learn those little nuances of the game, feeling the game, the situation. But super talented kid, super talented player. And again, we started him tonight in Albert's spot. We have good rotations planned for Tigres the rest of the year. Super happy to have him on the squad.
Thanks, Coach.
Brian, thank you very much for your time. Safe travels to Mexico.
Thanks, Alex. You did a great job.
I appreciate it. Media, if you have any needs prior to that Champions League opener against Tigres, please let us know. Otherwise, thank you for your time.
Sorry, they're still talking. They're still talking. Okay, they stopped talking. There you have it from Brian Schmetzer. Shout out to Paul Rothrock for scoring the game winner tonight and also teaching Brian Schmetzer the term ship. Someone had to do that. That was my favorite moment of the presser. All right, let's take some calls. I'm going to need you guys tonight. I'm running a little bit of double duty. Got no Noah, so I'm going to need some co-hosting. So I'm going to drop the link in chat here in just a second, and then we can get you guys on here. But before we do that, real quick, I did want to ask you guys a question, which is that if I told you before the season that the Seattle Sounders would play 8 games across all competitions, 2 of which would be in CONCACAF Champions Cup, with 7 of those coming on the road. And I told you they were going to make it out of that with 6 wins, a draw, and a spot in the CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinals, which they got by beating the Vancouver Whitecaps, who look like one of the best teams in Major League Soccer this year. Would you take that? Would you take that? Because I think, I don't know if this is the best start in Seattle Sounders history in terms of the level of footy that they're playing. A couple of these have been ugly wins. Maybe you could nitpick and say that you would have liked them to score a few more goals. But in terms of results, this is one of the better starts in Seattle Sounders history. I'll have to look up the exact numbers on that. But 6-1-1 all comps. And then most importantly, what I think is the most impressive is if you just look at the table. 4-1-1 in league play, 3-1-1 on the road, 2.17 points per game. 2.17 points per game, as someone alluded to in the press conference. That is the Supporter Shield winner every year, usually averages right around 2, maybe a little above 2. You usually need to be in that 1.9 to 2.1-ish type range to be on a Shield pace. So who knows if they're going to be able to keep that up. But what I will say is the great thing about the Seattle Sounders Roadshow is that they're done with it now, the heat of it now, and you're going to get a lot of home games kind of backloaded. This is going to pay off. You're going to be at Lumen Field a lot later on in the season. And the fact that you were able to make it out of this at 3-1-1 is fantastic. That's excellent results. So we'll see what happens in CCC on Wednesday, but I don't know about you guys. I feel about as good as I could going into that. I think the team's playing well. They're taking results. They're defending well. They're defending resolutely. They're absorbing pressure well. All things you need to do to succeed in CCC, especially a tough CCC road match like they got coming up. So I think they're set up pretty well going into this game. That doesn't mean that they're going to get a good performance or a good result. It just means they're set up to. But all right, I'm about to drop this link in the chat. If you give me 1 second here, and then we can get you guys in here. Like I said, it is important that you guys hop on tonight because I'm going to need some co-hosting duty. There's the link in chat right there. Feel free to click that and hop on. I will sit here and rip some takes until we get the queue going. But come on, let's go. Let's get the queue going. Hop on. Do some co-hosting. Give me some takes. All right, we got Yev leading us off. One person in the queue so far, so everyone get in there. But we'll lead it off with Yev. Yev, welcome to the stage. You're on right now. Thank you for tapping in. 1-0 win at Houston. CCC coming up on Wednesday. What'd you think? How you feeling?
Oh man, is the audio okay? I'm kind of in the garage, so
You sound good. To me.
Okay. I'm gonna say right now, great win, smash and grab, pretty much textbook smash and grab. Still, I want to say the tendencies from the last game pretty prominent, a little slow. You know, like we definitely were. I feel like getting at them, kicking them, passing the ball around quick, and then not fulfilling really not finishing in the last half or the last third. But Paul Rothrock, Poly Primetime, always coming in the clutch. You cannot undersell the effort. I mean, that's what it is. You're there in the back post, cleaning it up, roofing it because you're there. And the only reason why you're there is because you are busting your ass.
Exactly.
Paul Rothrock, he's going to be the engine of this team. I mean, and that's the kind of like what Schmetzer said during the press conference. The squad is so... It's hard to describe because we don't have the Messi. We don't have all those big names. But the system produces such diamonds that we're still in it. You know, I get it. I get like you gotta get the big signing, you gotta spend the money, you gotta get the big flashy ESPN, whatever you want out there. But instead, we keep grinding and we keep producing diamonds. That your last statement about the actual results of the last game is insane. It's insane. Like the fact that like starting off, you're going to be on the road for this long. How much you're going to how many points? I remember you were saying 4 or 5 weeks out. 9 points.
I was sitting here saying, guys, we might have to buckle in for like a not that fun start to the season. Like this is too many road games. Like you can have the greatest, deepest team that ever you can think it's that deep. And then once the reality of having to go to Houston right after you went to Colorado, after you went to Minnesota, and you're not playing at home at all. Once that sets in and you're juggling CCC, it's hard to take results. And honestly, like usually MLS teams don't take results like that. So I thought if for no other reason they were going to struggle just because the schedule was kind of stacked against them. So you got to give it to them. They have stacked these wins and stacked these points under about as tough of that MLS CCC schedule as you can possibly have. And another thing I was going to point out is these games like pretty much all count. Like this is not bad team merchanting. They went into San Jose and beat a San Jose team that is rolling on San Diego SC 3-0 as we speak. This Houston team, man, like you can tell they've got some guys. Like Guilherme is a guy very clearly. You could go down the list. Even the Rapids don't even look that bad. They lost at Toronto today, but they've been playing pretty well. So the schedule's been
RSL, the one loss.
Really good team.
When it happened, we were like, this might be a thing because RSL's not quite a team. And then RSL's like, whoa, they're actually quite a squad. And then our production after that fact, because it was like we lost RSL. Maybe this is going to be another one of those slow starts, typical Sounders season. But after that, just on and on and on. And I honestly think it was that 3-0 in CCC with Vancouver that literally that did this. Like, you can talk. You can say things over and over and you're like, oh, we got this, we got these plays, we got the coaches, all this stuff. But until you do it and then you see the squad do it, and the way that they did do it in Vancouver, not too dominating, kind of smash and grab, kind of really, I guess the best way to say it is like more technical than you would go about it, like rather than, I don't know. It's just the way that they have pulled around with all the different, potholes and all the different obstacles and the way they've gone around all of them in their unique different ways so early in the season. That's nuts. That's huge, because previous Sounders teams, they were like, oh, we have sea flashes, not so much. And then at the end of the year, they start hitting it. But now they're doing it the first 10 games of the season, all of them on the road, not all of them on the road. Wow. It's hard. You can't put a money number on it. You can't put like an XG on it sometimes, but you see the results, and you can't really, that's why we're insufferable, because we just keep getting those results.
I'm not going to lie. Like, there was part of me tonight as, I'm keeping track of results around the league, and I'm watching Inter Miami opening their new stadium, big celebratory occasion. They go out there, they're about to put on a show, and then they end up fighting for their absolute lives against Austin
Suarez
FC.
with a 80th something. It's like, is he still on the field? I'm like, dang, they were trying.
They smash and grabbed a 2-2 draw in the first game of their new stadium at home against Austin FC, which, I don't even bring that up to, I do bring that up to clown on them a little bit, but it's more it illustrates the point that it's like this league is tough even when you're at home and you got Lionel Messi on your team, you're fighting for your life against Austin FC.
Every time.
Yeah, to be taking these 3-point results in these road games, it's great. It's great to see. Before we get Timbo in here, how you feeling about CCC?
Oh, Tigres is going to be tight. Tigres is going to be a tight. I don't know. Well, I mean, tight is like my anus is going to be very tight. It is going to be a tough matchup there. Since you rolled over, and I don't expect us to do that, but it is still in Mexico. Huge atmosphere. I'm still feeling pretty good, though. I'm still feeling pretty good, especially the way that our guys attack the ball more so than Cincy did, especially there. Any given day, any given soccer match, but I feel, especially the way that what Christian pulled in today, he was, again, gotta give Rothrock the man of the match, but Christian today was right up there. He had a few, lower kind of games a little bit before, but I don't know if it was the extra break with the USMT because they didn't get to play as much as he should have, but he came out just awesome. So I feel like him rolling that over to the Tigres match, I feel like we're pretty good. And again, you can't. Again, with soccer, it can be super bad, it can be super great, but with Sounders, we have that right there. Like, so, you have that nice, strong middle ground, so you can work back to it. So I feel.
Yeah, I feel good too.
I feel 1-1. I feel 1-1 down in Tigres today. Yeah. Today, after this match, I feel like a good 1-1.
We all know the feeling that you get, like, when you see this team is like ready to make a run. Like, doesn't it kind of feel like that right now? Like, after that Vancouver series, you get those Sounders tournament vibes going, and you just kind of.
Yeah, like, they stack on each other, again, like last week, the 0-0, I was like, we're really kind of gearing down a bit. It's like, I really think we have things in our bag that we're not using. We really should in these situations, but still, again, it's early. It's so early. These type of things like manifest so much later in the year, and we're doing it now. And again, like you harp on it a lot with Noah, with like the previous years where it seemed like these types of games should be a 0-0 or we would lose it. We would give it up in the last 20 minutes or something. But this time we got it in the last 20 minutes. We did that extra bit. Like, Jordan came on, got that header, did that, like that, those little bits that are just different from this year, from previous years, and that it's happening this early on, it's something new. I'm not saying what it's going to end up as, because it's something new. I have no idea. I don't know. Are we going to steam too far and pull back at the end of the season? Can't tell. But right now, I feel like, again, everything's building on each other. So it doesn't seem like something's going to drop out, right? Especially with the depth. Like Pedro Pepo's not even in. So it's not like we need that DP to come in and do that. We haven't had that. We have the whole Musovski Darrow thing. And that's still building. And it just seems that, like it just, man, I'm not going to say things. I'm not going to say things. But it seems as we are prepared more than other years to whatever is in front of us. And that is a testament to Schmetzer. That's a testament to all the coaches, Wabel. I mean, I'm on that boat where we should be more ambitious, but at the same time, I am not in the room to be like holistically looking into it. And if they are holistically looking into it and saying, yeah, we can splash, we can get a Griezmann, or I mean, come on, Griezmann and Seattle have been tight.
No, it would have been. Yeah, and he's boys with Julio, so it would have been cool.
But like, where are you gonna put him? But it's still weird. But that's the thing. Like, where are you gonna put him? Like, all that stuff. Like, where are you gonna put him? Where are you gonna put him? And it's just it's a abundance of riches. Like obviously feeling high from this win, but man, if this, it's hard. It's hard to see where we decrease in productivity, right? Like it's hard to say someone gets hurt or I don't know, like Schmetzer's like, oh, we're gonna run a three back line. Like if we do a 3 back line, we'll still be fine. Like, it's like there's things where you can't. I mean, again, not in the room holistically. Obviously, I'm not telling other people that they can't beat us, but right now it just sees when things are coming at us, we're good. And that's where you want to be.
Absolutely. All right. Well, yeah, great stuff. Thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it. And we're gonna get Timbo in here. Champions of champions. That's right. All right, take care.
Let's go. Once we knock out Tigres, it's game. There's no one left.
Game over. Oh, sorry, I cut Yev off. Sorry, Yev. Have a good one, man. Take care. All right, we're going to get Timbo on here now, and then we got Jordan after that, and then no one else in the queue. So if you want to hop on and lay down some takes, feel free. Also, as someone in chat pointed out, please like the video, and also shout out to Benji, Spokane Soccer Show, becoming a YouTube member. Great way to support the show. And go sub and subscribe and follow Spokane Soccer Show on all platforms. Our new friends from Spokane, they do a great job covering Spokane Velocity and all things Spokane soccer. So thanks for joining, Benji. And yeah, everyone go show them some love. Also, we got 5 gifted from, it looks like, ourselves. So shout out to us for that. All right, let's get Timbo on here. Timbo, welcome to the show. I'm gonna be typing and doing stuff real quick, so I'm just gonna let you cook for a couple minutes.
Let me cook for a bit. That sounds good. You hear me okay?
I'll set you up, though. 1-0 win at Houston. Paul Rothrock, another game winner at Houston. CCC coming up on Wednesday. Squad's 4-1-1 in the league. About to go into the CONCACAF quarters. What'd you think about the game tonight? How are you feeling?
I mean, I think if you're a Sounders fan tonight, you got to be glass half full, right? I mean, your take at the beginning, 6-1-1. I mean, that's – and the majority of these games are away. I think we've had 1 home game out of
one.
I mean, granted, Spokane will, okay, yeah, like, sure, that's another home game. But, like, generally, so out of the 8 games, we've had 2 at home. And we're sitting 13 points. I mean, you're looking kind of at overall standings in the league in general. We're doing pretty hot. On top of the fact, we've had a crazy amount of injuries to start the year. Morris goes down. Yamar's out. We had a Pekovic go down with an ACL. I mean, it's kind of what you expect out of a kind of a Sounders season regarding injuries, right? And yet the next man up, we've seen, Lopez step up. Peter Kingston got a contract, which again, pay the man, like pay these kids. Or I made the mistake thinking Peter Kingston was a lot younger than 24, but that's still a relatively young kid, And so I'm glad to see these guys, maturate through different systems. Kingston with Ballard coming up through the ranks and finding his place with the Sounders. So, I mean, it's very hard to kind of, not be kind of as joyous without the pen clicks as Brian was tonight. It's always nice not to hear the coach click his pen in the presser.
Schmetzer's been vibing in these press conferences. He really has.
He looks like he just got back from vacation, too. He looks like he's got a tan and just loving life. I don't know where he went.
I think he loves this team right now. These kind of grinded out, resilient type of wins. It's like Schmetzer's dream to have a team that's able to actually bear down and get wins in situations like this.
I want to get your take on Ben Olsen and this Houston team. This formation tonight was kind of left me scratching a little bit with 5 backs. And I know we're going to call it a smash and grab, but I think Paulie Rothrock has just always been at that back post. And as a team, if you're not covering that back post with him, like you're going to lose to the Sounders. Like that ought to be in the team notes on a film study that all his goals are coming from the back post off of crazy assists, or Jordan Morris, I would argue, got the assist tonight, although I think he would have preferred to have his own goal. But if you're not covering Paulie on the back post, you're going to get scored on. I don't care who you are in this league right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure they did grind that in film study. My take on Houston after watching that and having watched them a little bit this season is just, I think they're kind of in the phase of like they're integrating some new guys. They just got Guilherme, they just got Bogus. So those are talented guys, but it's not like they've played together.
Right.
So I think there's a lot of individual talent that isn't necessarily gelled. Like that's something about like the new signings and all that stuff. Like when you're doing that all the time, it is exciting, but it's also probably because you're needing to like turn over your roster and kind of figure out how to play together. And so it kind of feels like they haven't done that yet, but they look like a team that's trying to be super high octane, like buzzsaw type attack. Maybe that comes at the expense of the defensive side of things sometimes, because they did only give up the 1 goal tonight. But I mean, Ferreira had that really good chance in the first half. There was chances and there was space in behind. So I think they're maybe trying to kind of learn how to balance that and just kind of play together. But I mean, I was high on them going into the year, and I still think they have something working. But even going into this game, I was like, I feel like you can get at these guys. They're kind of a new team, and they give up chances.
Where do you think they rank against their rivals in Dallas and Austin, who I think are having stellar starts to their year? Especially, I mean, Dallas granted it's DC United, but putting 4 on United or any team for that matter is a pretty good look.
I think Dallas is a little further along than they are. They have Pitar Musa, obviously, who's one of the best number 9s in the league. So I feel like they're pretty comparable. Austin, I'm a little lower on. They got Facundo Torres, but I'm not really sure about that fit. And last year they
didn't lose to Miami in their new stadium today. They almost won that first game in this new stadium.
It's true. I kind of guess I see all the Texas teams as like sort of up and coming playoff teams for sure, but maybe not true trophy contenders yet. But I do think that, I mean, Houston's got some legitimate firepower. I mean, the Guilherme Bogus duo, that's good. Like,
what do you take about Achi coming back though? That's an interesting one. The way he exited and now he's back.
That one's a little less exciting at 35, but I think he can like have that veteran leadership type role for them. But I think they're going to be.
He knows Ben Olsen, like he knows this what Ben is going to expect of a team now.
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, I don't know. I thought Houston would be better than they have been so far, but I don't know. I still think that they got something working there. They just kind of got to put it all together. I will be interested to watch the Benno presser tonight. I'm hoping he gives some good stuff, even though I didn't think there was that much controversial in this game, but he has a way of making it controversial even when you wouldn't think it would be. So, but like, yeah.
I was going to put this out for Ben Olsen on kind of the side. I really respect the guy with his beard game, honestly, in the Houston Heat in April, and let's keep an eye on that beard, because honestly, as you know, I know that's kind of irrelevant to what we're ultimately talking about, but I had to take a second glance and I'm like, that's Ben fucking Olsen with fucking full on beard and the Houston Heat. I got to respect that to a certain degree.
Exactly. Maybe it wasn't as hot, but I mean, it looked hot and humid, and it was raining.
That rain coming down was something else too, man.
That even kind of adds to this win, I think, is the fact that it was pouring rain in Houston, Texas, and they were still able to get that one done.
I think it's great that, you know, there was a point. Let me cook on this point. Brian said this notion about ahead of schedule, that he doesn't feel that way because things are kind of consistent and the team's kind of rolling in a consistent method. I would absolutely, you know, it's his team, but I would disagree. I think they're vastly ahead of schedule compared to previous seasons where we get into the throes of July and we've only got 3 to 4 wins to the name.
Yeah,
we got to pull hard to get out, and you know, the team generally does do that. I think the year we didn't do it in 22, we had a CONCACAF championship behind us, so that's understandable. And I don't think very many people were upset about how we didn't pull it out. But Sounders fans have been incredibly spoiled with this team making the playoffs year after year after year, and to have so many away wins. I as a season ticket holder, I am very excited to go watch some home games regardless of what happens, because the pressure's off at this point. We're going to come home. We're going to be on some nice sod, and we're going to kick some teams in the teeth that come to town. It's going to be really wonderful to see amongst all my fellow Sounders fans in Lumen.
This is going to pay off. All of this road grinding and actually getting the results and banking these points, it's going to pay off because, like you said, there are going to be a bunch of home games. I mean, I'll have to take a look at the schedule again, but we were talking through too. This has been like a difficult part of the schedule opponent-wise too. They haven't been beaten up on cupcakes and merchanting off of matchups like some people are probably going to try and say they are. They are not. Like the San Jose Earthquakes are absolutely. I mean, last time I checked, they were really smashing San Diego, who's another one of the best teams in the league. So that win looks really good now too.
I think the Rapids were RSL. We've talked about. I think the Rapids were a lot better when they played us than they were today. We're you know, we talk about goalies and kind of pedigrees and whatnot. And you can look at guys like Maxime Crépeau tonight, who is such a big name in LAFC, gives 6 to the team he used to play for. You know. I think Zach Steffen, who Stephen Fry got snubbed for goalkeeper of the year, went to England and shit the bed and has come back and continued to do such. Like, I'd almost rather see Bill Hamid or somebody in Zach Steffen's place in Colorado being from. I don't think. I think his career at this point is over. Just the own goal kind of stuff. The second goal that they gave up to Toronto, just whiffing on a ball. Like, I mean, what is going on? That's you were playing in the Premier League, dude. Like, you cannot give up those kind of goals. Those are goals that Andrew Thomas is not giving up. Like, and we would be losing our gourds right now if a goal was given up like that to a equalizer or an eventual loss. So, just to say on the Rapids, I think they are, you know, at least on paper, a really good team, but there are some definite cracks in that team right now. Minnesota, I think, is tough to beat at home, and we did it. RSL, we're eventually going to get there. I think
tied Minnesota, but yeah.
Oh yeah, was it 0-0, right?
That was the 0-0, yeah. But like, if you would
put a point, a point in Minnesota, I would take in March anytime. We're going to have more of those matches with the new schedule. Anyhow, I think that's a big one.
If I looking at the schedule before the season, I would have said just win one of the Houston and Minnesota. If you win one of those and draw the other, that's good. That's fine. And they were able to do that. Even the Minnesota game is probably the one I look at and I'm like, man, like should have been able to win that. But when you factor it in with the rest of the results, like if they had won in Minnesota and drawn this one, I think that also would have been fine. So yeah.
I do want to talk real quick about not losing the Supporter Shield competition. I do agree with Brian on that metric. Like, I think you look at what LAFC is doing right now. You know, Miami's going to go on a tear when the time comes. Like, Nashville's a very good team. competition's still there. We haven't lost it. The difference is going to be when we go home and really put some teams, kick some teeth, and like really show what Lumen is as kind of the fortress. That I think those components are important of any kind of supporter shield campaign, right? You got to go win your ways. We're doing a component of that right now, at least a good quarter of that or a good half of those aways. Hard to argue with. But then you got to kind of have your fortress. And I think with the defense and the goalkeeping that we have with this team, there's potential there. But I absolutely agree with Brian. We haven't lost this title. Now we got to go win it. And where would you rather do it than Lumen Field, right?
Absolutely. All right. Well, Timbo, any last takes on either this match or CCC coming up? And then we will get we got Jordan in here, and then that's it for the queue right now. If anyone else wants to hop in.
I have one more on Morris. I would like to, much in the same way of kind of giving up goals that Zach Steffen's doing. I don't know what Morris was doing tonight at the end of the game, but it kind of caught my eye on this whiff and this additional corner we gave Houston. And I don't know. I know Morris is smarter than that. I am not genuinely a JMO fan, and I'm really kind of rooting for his comeback and kind of at this point to kind of turn it and kind of do a nice swan song. I'm not seeing it at this point, and it's frustrating for me as somebody who's kind of probably not been a huge Morris fan throughout his career, or kind of a naysayer, and I've been proven wrong, but I am rooting for this guy to come back. Time is short at this point. Do it now or don't, but it's time at this point for him to step up and kind of, understand getting healthy and that kind of component. But we've had an off season. We've had a number of games that he's not been a part of. It's like, you got opportunities now in CONCACAF. You got opportunities to showcase in front of the home crowd that he's stayed in Seattle for and espoused for a very long time. It's put up or shut up at this point.
Do you know if they gave him the assist on that tonight? I think he should get.
I don't know if they did, and honestly, I got to give him credit for that. I don't know if they did, and I should probably look in that. I almost feel like they should have given the assist to kossa-rienzi.
Well, he'll get the secondary if you're a secondary assist guy.
Right.
But
we should look into that. I don't know if it, I will look at that stat.
I'll look it up. I think he is going to get it for that, because when I saw the replay, it looked like it hit his head without hitting a defender.
There are just components of Morris beyond. I mean, you got to love that. Like we've talked about him being in the wing and that kind of stuff. And I know the audience will go, no, there's no wing at this point. But I do see points of him. Like there was a point in this game where he had a breakout, and I can't remember whether it was Al Rusnak or Paul kind of feeding him against three backs, and prime JMO, at pace with them, would outpace them and get to that goal and make the score. And I don't want to use the term old man Morris, because that's how I would refer to his father, but it's starting to feel like we're getting into kind of the twilight of his career. And as much as I hate to see it, as much as he's given to this club, and as much as there ought to be opportunity for him to kind of put his signature on the end of his career, there's a point with his position that there's got to be some kind of payoff or production, or we got to see some goals now, or assist or whatever. We're seeing that out of other people, thankfully, like Pauly Primetime. Jesus is producing, should honestly probably have his DP role. Like, he is a DP. Jesus is not. So that's what I'm saying. And there's Pauly Primetime for that matter.
No, Pauly Primetime's on 550K, which we were debating if he was worth that. That seems like a silly debate.
That seems like it seems like a really silly debate right now, considering what. So this is the last point I'll put on double nickels that Brian put out tonight. Also at the end of this one, it's 5 goals for Pauly Primetime, 5 shutouts for Thomas. 5 goals is tied for third in the Golden Boot race right now. I don't know where 5 shutouts is.
Well, so 5 all comps. So
okay, so he's at
4 in the
4.
league. But still, Sam Surridge is leading Golden Boot with 6 or 7. Yeah,
7. So I mean, that's and that's given enough time. I mean, honestly, Surridge had such a good year last year. for him to repeat that goal boot would not be really surprising with Hani Mukhtar and some of these other guys who are rolling with him. And Nashville is a good team now. I think they've been denied titles for long enough that they're like, fuck it, we're going to go get some this year.
I don't know about the Pauly Primetime Golden Boot campaign, but what I will be getting on is the Pauly Primetime MLS All-Star campaign, because I feel like that should be a given at this point. If
we should send Pauly Primetime to Charlotte. We really should. I think that is
honestly, like if he keeps playing like this and producing like this, he's gonna make it. Like he's been one of the best wingers in the league so far this year. So hopefully he keeps that going. Well, Timbo, thank you as always for tapping in. Great stuff, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Good to talk to you. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Take care. All right, we got Jordan, and then that is it. So anyone else, if you want to hop in, feel free. I'm probably only going to take a couple more. I do kind of have stuff to do. And with that in mind, Jordan, I'm going to let you cook for a couple minutes here while I work on some stuff. So I'll set you up, though. Paul Rothrock, game winner, 1-0 win at Houston. CCC coming up on Wednesday. What'd you see? What'd you think?
That man again. That man, there he is again. It's becoming a recurring theme. I mean, overall, defensively, the team did really well. Playing away from home in a thunderstorm that delays the game, where that kind of can push back a lot of momentum. To go out there, put their bodies literally on the line. The amount of last-ditch tackles, jumping into things, just get your body in there. By Reagan and Nuhu and Thomas getting big. It was great to see. That's what you want to see from your team. You want defenders who like want to defend with their life. Like you want them to get up and like celebrate a block like they scored a goal, and that's kind of what it was like tonight. I don't know if this was Jesus' best game. I don't know if that's because he was in the middle and he's been on the right for so long, or if he needs another creative player to kind of bounce off of like he has been with Rusnak, but it wasn't bad. I don't know. I mean, I still think that there is some more that the attack could do. 1-0. It's an ugly win. It's never ugly when you win the game. That's how I look at it. You get 3 points. That can never be an ugly thing.
Especially when you're in the middle of road showing like this.
And
it's kind of how you have to win.
Literally, you're talking about the first game of the season was at Lumen. And then you've played a 3-1-1 in the league and 2-0 home, but 2-0 away from home in the same span. So 5 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss in all competitions. That's insane to do. And going out there and getting these 1-0 wins, like you guys were saying earlier, this is not the same. Last year, the whole beginning of the season was the best defense, and they're so good. Like maybe they'll keep it up, and then the defense did horrible in the first half of the season, and it led to a lot of late draws or late losses and stuff. And it seems like this season, whatever Brian and the team have made sure, we're going to keep this on lock. So that is a huge thing to see. It's never fun watching a game where it's only 1-0 and you're freaking out for the entire last of the game, especially after free kick and corner kick and just repeated onslaught into the box. But the team put their body on the line, kept the clean sheet, got the 3 points. Can't complain, really.
No, what do you make of the defense right now? I mean, I think it's like it's not like they're not giving up chances or they're not under pressure, but I like the resoluteness. When you're throwing your body around, making these goal line blocks, like that's what you need. That's what you need to win on the road in MLS, and that's what you need in CCC.
Yeah, bend don't break. That's what it always the old saying is. You can give up chances, but don't let it go through. I do think when the lineups came out and I scroll down the foot mob and I look at the injury list, and the first 4 players are all center backs.
It's tough. It's not great.
What I can genuinely say is when Yamar does come back, I don't think he can walk back into the starting 11.
Who do you want in there?
I think you keep what's been going. You keep playing the hot hand until Yamar. You can throw Yamar in, like, not in rotation role, but like, okay, well, we're playing Tigres. If we'll say hypothetically Yamar's healthy, okay, he'll play the Tigres game, but in the league, keep the duo that you have. Like, they've been too good. They've been keeping clean sheets on the road in the league in the beginning of the season. Like, it's one of those where, it's the same thing where Jordan Morris has come back. He's not hopped straight into the starting 11. You got to win your spot. Even if you are starting, you come back. You got to show with whatever time you get, whether it's in practice or it's off the bench, you got to come back and win your spot. And right now, the team looks good. I will say, Antoine Griezmann, it is not too late. I know you saw the results today. It is not too late. Listen, they will give
Julio, FaceTime Julio.
We will make you a part owner of the Seahawks. We will give you a box. It is not too late. Leave Orlando now. You're still there. Vargas is right there. Talk to Vargas. Get him to get somebody on the phone for you, bro. It's not too late. But yeah, I mean, it would be great to have Antoine Griezmann. For me, would have been an amazing signing. It would have been like
that would have been
lights out.
sick. I won't lie. I kind of dismiss the name chasing, but like there are some that I can admit would be sick, and that would be one of them. I was stumping for KDB last year, but
for me, the only reason why this one of all of the names and the one that made sense is because he loves the Seahawks. Like, that's it. Like the rest of them, like James Rodriguez, don't care about. KDB, he was too much at the top of his game still. Like, it's one of those where, because he can play as a 9, he can play as a 10, he can play on the right. Like, it would have made sense with how versatile he is, but the team's still getting it done. We've got 3 different strikers. No one's claimed stake to the 9. Jordan's coming back from injury, so you can't really be like, well, you're not making the most of it. The guy has the worst injury luck, and it's never like the same thing twice. It's like he comes back from a knee injury, he messes up his shoulder. He comes back from a shoulder injury, he messes up his ankle. Like, I'm hoping, you know what? Screw it. Who cares? Who cares who the 9 is? As long as you keep scoring goals, it doesn't matter where the goal comes from. Right back, center back, left mid, it doesn't matter. So,
yeah.
Right, it's crazy. I think, we're going to Mexico midweek. It's gonna be tough, obviously, especially coming off a road game where you had to fight the elements as it is. It was never easy, so you didn't really get a moment to we weren't up 3-0. You couldn't take your foot off the gas. Like, you had to always go. So if you can nick a 1-1, I'll take a 0-0. I forgot until watching Nashville, Miami, that away goals rule is still a thing in CONCACAF.
Oh yeah.
So, I'll take another 1-0. Take that home. But for now, everything's looking good. We're in the playoff spots. I don't really care for the point total shield. It means nothing to me, because if you look at the history of that, like the last 5 of them don't even win. They get bounced in like the first round of the playoffs. So let's just get a spot. Finish. If we win it, great. Finish strong. Keep your head down. Focus on the next game. And let's win a trophy early this year. Let's go all out. Beat Tigres. I think they can do it. It sucks Pekovic got hurt. That was horrible news.
Yeah.
And then the Georgie transfer. Obviously, they play in different positions, but losing 2 players, bang bang like that.
But you gain Pete.
Hurt.
You gain Pete.
Yeah. I'm hoping we can turn that into something big, but we'll see. I mean,
Got to
you
watch
never
out.
know.
Yeah.
You know, Mo Salah, you know, he's leaving Liverpool. You know, just if you're gonna dream, you know, dream big. Mo Salah in Seattle in the summer. Why not go for something crazy? Who knows what you can do? But I'm excited to see what this team can do. It's gonna be good.
Mo Salah is another one that I could get behind. I would not argue with that one.
Bro, Mo Salah on the right wing for this team.
Would he start over
Gosh.
Paul Rothrock? You know, he'd have to earn his spot at Long Acres.
Well, the way I look at it is with Paul being right-footed, just put Paul on the left.
There you go. Problem
Paul,
solved.
Rusnacker, Jesus, Mo Salah, or you throw Mo Salah up at the number 9. Whatever, bro. Who cares? You want to play lunch lady? Whatever, bro. Just come in. You'll sell so many shirts. It won't even matter by the first week. You'll all the money will come back.
Now we're talking. All right, Jordan. We're gonna get Corwin in here next, but thanks for tapping in as always, my guy. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, have a good night, man.
Take care. All right, we got Corwin, and then we got Benji. Let's go, Spokane Soccer Show in the studio. Then no one after that, so these might be the last 2 of the night, guys. Maybe one or more, 2 maybe after that, but gonna wind it down here soon. But let's get Corwin in here. Corwin, what's up, man? You're on the stage. 1-0 win at Houston. Paul Rothrock with the game winner. 4-1-1 in the league. CONCACAF Champions Cup quarterfinals at Tigres coming up on Wednesday. What'd you think? How you feeling?
First of all, I thought that this was a great game.
Oh, it's Corwin from Spokane. What's up, dude? Did you get a haircut? I didn't.
I did. I just got it today. It was a couple months too late. So
no, you're looking good.
Finally got it real short.
I got to do the same, but good to see you. I hope you, Corwin in Spokane famously had parked his car in a place that he shouldn't have, and did you get your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I even paid when the dude said I didn't have to. He's like, I'm just gonna get you to your car, and I'll open the gate. But I was like, you know what? I already paid, so that's some good karma. And paid it forward on the Sounders or something.
Hell yeah. Well, good to see you. Thanks for tapping in. Go for it. I had to process that was you, but dish your takes.
Yeah, so I think the first thing, it's been said a couple times already tonight, and you guys already posted about it. Paul Rothrock, father of Houston, 4 goals in 4 games. I think it is 4 and 4, right?
Something like that. It's 4, yeah, and then 5 all comps.
Yeah, so I mean, he's doing great. He's doing great things. I want to see him on the field every single game. Every time he gets rest, it hurts my heart a little bit. So keep going, Paul. Love to see what he's got going on the field. And, everything about the form, totally agree with. Thoughts about the game. I would say the only thing that I would find very notable, I missed the first 15 minutes or so and caught the last 60 minutes of the game. And I remember distinctly at halftime, I think our XG was something below. It was ridiculously low, like 0.01, even when we had 55% possession. So,
and with that, I thought that Ferreira chance was pretty good, but maybe not.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see. But then what I loved to see after that is Brian Schmetzer halftime talk. Whatever he said, it worked. We got the W away. So that's the only thoughts I have about the game, really. And then I would say there's one thing we've talked about him a little bit tonight, and I just had to come on here to defend him. Is I think Jordan Morris, the second he gets 100% healthy, needs to be the starting 9 in every single game. I think he brings something to the field that Musovski and De Rosario cannot. I think it's his experience on the wing of where when Jordan Morris has the ball, I feel confident that he can either contribute to an attacking play or try to take a shot on goal. Whereas I think Musovski and De Rosario is so much more limited, and I really worry when they have the ball at their feet. So I think that's a strong difference, and I would say very much so. The second Jordan is 100% healthy and not risking tweaking a muscle, tearing a ligament if he's not ready to go. But the second he is ready to go, he needs to be our starting striker.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been saying too. The way I've been describing it is that, like, with D-Row, you have the dirty work all around, more physical, kind of just more well-rounded player, but that hasn't been scoring. And then with Moose, you have the guy that doesn't really offer the well-rounded skill set, but God damn it, he can score. He can get in that spot and poach his goals. But Jordan Morris is essentially, he's just, if you combined those two things into one player, and like with the all-around game of D-Row and the finishing ability and the movement in the box of Moose, boom, like the two things that they do well, you put it together, and that's just Jordan. So there you go, it's problem solved. They came out first game of the year and they had D-Row up top and Jordan out wide. But I think the first choice 11, it's got to be one of the Pauls out wide and Jordan up top. I see no way around it at this point. It's not even like Moose and D-Row have been bad. It's just that Jordan is more well-rounded and more dynamic and definitely a more proven goal scorer than D-Row. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he got the assist tonight. I checked that.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, he's already contributing, and I think, how many minutes do you have? Less than
not that many, and it was a primary assist, so it counts.
Yeah, it's not an MLS exclusive.
No, primary assist.
But no, I think looking forward, I'm just super happy because everyone's been preaching about how our form is just, considering all the things that we've had to go through, injuries, playing away when you're playing at home. It's just, I'm really looking forward to see this team as it moves forward and we continue. I won't be here, I'll be back in Spokane, but everyone coming back to Lumen Field, I can't wait to see that for CONCACAF. And I think that we're just in a great spot moving forward to, I know Brian was saying that they weren't thinking about winning the Shield, not losing it, but I think in reality, if we hold this form, the Shield just might come as a benefit of how we've been playing.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. What do you think about the defense? I meant to dish a take when Jordan and I were talking about it, but like I feel like the cool thing about this Alex Roldan KKR look is it's not like Alex is not like a conventional center back in the way that Yamar is, and KKR is not a conventional right back maybe in the way that Alex is, but you have like so much kind of athleticism and distribution and speed, especially with KKR in there. You have like a really, really good attacker. I think probably even higher level attacker at that spot than Alex. So I don't know. It's hard for me to say that should be the first choice backline because it's kind of weird, but also I genuinely think there's like something to it.
I think it's a beautiful thing that's come out of all the injuries we've had, specifically at defense, because I mean, Alex is a small guy. We know he can play any position on the field. He's proven that. But what I love that, like you're saying, is when they're all back there, you have Christian Roldan, you have Alex Roldan who can send the deep balls, cross the field, switch the position of play. It's beautiful to watch. And then another thing that I would say that would come out of having the two play right next to each other, you can push that ball so far forward because if KKR is moving up, Alex Roldan just shift back, hold the right flank, and he's right back to where he's been playing for the last few years. It's
right.
I think that's something that whether it happens naturally or we even leverage, like it's tough to say, like I want Yamar back so bad. He's one of my favorite players on the field when he plays, but maybe we don't even need it. Maybe this pseudo wingback situation, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, but I completely agree with what you have to say about that. It's just so fun.
Yeah, no, it's like kind of an unexpected, like you said, something that we didn't even really know about, and then because of the unfortunate injury situation, it's sort of just been discovered. And I think it might be just the best option. I kind of hope I think that is what they're going to run against Tigres, and I think that's what they should run against Tigres. But we'll find out. Corwin, any last takes you wanted to get out there, either about this game or CCC coming up? How are you feeling about CCC?
CCC, I mean, I'm not the most knowledgeable, but here's what I can say from what I've seen and how we've played is I feel like, especially if we get through Tigres, those will be the two hardest games until the finals. I think we have honestly really tough first few rounds, and we would be cruising through it to where we could maybe even shift our focus back to MLS in the tournament if that's the way it goes. But I feel great about CCC because I don't think the matchups going forward are as tough as Vancouver, like we already got by, and pretty decidingly, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Corwin, thanks for tapping in, man. Great to see you. Hopefully we catch you on the next one. But yeah, great stuff, and take care.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have a good one. All right, we're going to take one more call this evening, folks, and then we're going to call it a wrap. So no one else tap in the queue. This is going to be the last one, and it is a great finale indeed, because we are bringing to the stage right now. It is our friend Benji Wade of the Spokane Soccer Show. We were hanging out in Spokane, and now he's watching Sounders games, and he's hanging out on the Lobbing Scorchers post-game show. Never thought I'd see the day. Benji, what's going on, man? How is your new Sounders fandom going?
What's up, cutie pie? Today was crazy. I woke up to my newly found support of all the professional soccer teams playing in the state of Washington, and all 4 of them were playing. So I'm talking Zephyr first, and they lost 3-1. So we had, let's do the tally. 1 win, 2 draws, 1 loss today. Velocity FC had their first ever derby against Boise, AC Boise, Athletic Club Boise, and they left with a point. They tied that game 1-1. So I didn't actually get to see the Sounders game, but I did watch the highlights, and I have takes, but whatever. What I've really enjoyed so far from following these teams, both Sounders and Reign, by the way, is the drama. Since the night where they came to Spokane to play against the Whitecaps, Georgie gets shuffled off. Pekovic tears his ACL. Oh my God. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. So I also just want to shout out Seattle Sounders, Seattle Reign, undefeated at the palace known as One Stadium in Spokane. 3 wins and a draw. That's where it finished. So they got a draw tonight. Seattle Reign got a draw 0-0 against Denver. So 7 goals for Seattle teams, 2 goals for their opponents. Let's go. Let's get these teams to come back to Spokane. It was so cool that the Corwin kid was just on, who's a Spokane guy.
I know.
Is he a Spokane guy, or is he like a Seattle kid who's in Spokane for school or something?
He's Gonzaga's student.
Of course.
I think he's from more closer to Seattle area, but
okay.
He was at Flat Stick. We were hanging out. He got
I saw him there, man. I remember him. That's
got
cool.
his car locked in the parking garage, but he got it out. We found out tonight. So
I'm so curious. I had so many questions. I wish I could have come on there. I was like, what parking garage did you get stuck in? That's crazy.
It was like right across from Flat Stick.
Oh, I know what we're talking about. Okay. Yeah, let's go. I did watch the highlights. Dude, Andrew Thomas, fucking 2 incredible reaction saves in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that much, but yeah.
Jesus, dude. Yeah. I mean,
that guy who almost scored that, he's quite skilled at the sport.
Who was that?
His name's Guilherme. He's Houston. He's this big money designated player. Houston just signed
stud
over the offseason. Stud. Yeah, he helped.
Oh my God.
Whatever Brazilian. Oh, he was on Santos with Neymar, and he was like clearly the best player on their team type stuff. Like, he's good.
Yeah, he looked filthy. He's the one player when I watched those highlights, whatever, 9 or 10 minute highlight package. I was like, that's the note I took about that Houston team. The Jesus toe poke, super nasty stuff. Great ball from Uzovsky on that, I thought.
Yeah. No, like, Moose takes kind of heat for not being like a great facilitator or link up play guy, but he has those in his bag sometimes. And that was a great chance. It was a great save by the goalkeeper, but that's kind of what I wish the kind of type of spot they could get Jesus in more. Like, because when he gets in those spots, like, he has 60 MLS goals. He's way more of like kind of a point guard on this team. So he really, his value is kind of flipped from what I thought it would be. But I want him to get in those spots more, because I know he can score those. I know he can.
So the other thing that I thought was interesting in the 3 games that I've seen of Sounders in the last few weeks, Paul Rothrock, back post magician. What the fuck?
Yeah, teams should probably start like marking him back there.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. And it's so funny because it looked a lot like the goal that I don't know if Musovski, I don't know if I ever checked that tape close enough to see if he got a touch on the cross from Pete in Spokane.
He did not. That was a primary for Pete.
That was
He
Pete.
at least
Okay.
he was not credited with it.
You're right. Okay. So, but Morris obviously did.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I did feel like the keeper for Houston should have done a little bit better. He should have just come out, got big, maybe even just clobber Rothrock if you have to. You just looked a little timid on that.
There's something about Paulie Primetime at the far post. Like you can try and stop it, but you're not stopping it. That's going to be a goal right now.
You're right. It's like that keeper just had a slow motion moment, bullet time. He looked at Rothrock. He's like, he's way too fucking handsome.
He was like, "Oh man, he's way too handsome."
I'm
We were talking about this in film all week.
Yeah, totally.
Oh no, this is what coach was warning us about. Oh, it's in. I'm pretty
It's
sure
back in
that's
the
what
net.
happened. Yeah. But no, you're right. It is like it's been some like cardiac cats type of stuff, dramatic finishes. And this was another one, but it was another one where I kind of resigned myself to the 0-0, and then they got the game winner. So that's always nice. You're like, oh, they won. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I left the stadium after the rain game finished 0-0. And I think it was 1-1 in Velocity, AC Boise. And I hadn't seen yet that Rothrock scored that goal. So I got into my car and saw that he scored, and I was like, of course he did.
Yeah,
amazing.
who else would it be? Well, and you probably aren't as familiar with the lore, but the legend of Paul Rothrock, when he first came up from Tacoma Defiance, and we kind of knew who he was, but like not really that much. And he only was in the Matchday squad because of a bunch of injuries, and he got a substitute appearance. And it was same scenario, 0-0 late, even later in the game, though. I want to say that one was like stoppage time. And he scored the game winner on kind of a classic, like Paulie Primetime type of, poaching at the back post type of goal. And that's what started the whole thing at that exact stadium. So it came full circle right there.
Oh, Houston. Jeremiah was mentioning that.
Yeah.
There's some magic there. Okay.
There's and I think he scored against them. Oh yeah, he scored against them last year on the road, and I believe he scored against them at Lumen too. So I would say he's basically the mayor of Houston, Texas at this point. Like he should be given a key to the city and formally made their leader because of what he's done to them over the years.
That's awesome. We have to shout out April 15th, Flat Stick Pub, Pioneer Square, post-game reaction to the Tigres game. I'm coming over.
Oh, is that going down?
We're doing that.
Okay,
So,
I didn't know that, but sick. Yeah,
I am nothing if not a salesman. And so I'm here to plug that because I'm coming over. I'm going to Lumen. I'm watching that game. And we're going to go to Pioneer Square, Flat Stick Pub after the game for a live Lobbing Scorchers. We're dropping news here. It's happening. We're doing that. That's happening.
All right. Yeah. Count me in. It would be crazy if I didn't go to that. So
I was like, why is Noah not here? What's he doing?
Yeah, he's got, I guess, something other to do than make content tonight. I don't know. I can't really relate, or I have no idea what's going on with that. But yeah.
What a jerk. Hey, Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
How do you feel? I can't help but ask. I really liked how that kid looked, Georgie. I'm new to following Sounders. Mm-hmm. I loved how he looked against Minnesota, and then I was just like, oh man, he's gone like a few days later. How do you feel about that transaction?
Mixed feelings. Like, I liked a lot of what I've seen from him too, and he's a very exciting player to watch, which his team could always use. Like, if there's one kind of criticism of this team, in spite of the good results they take, it's that in the past couple years, especially, they haven't always been like super electric, flashy, super fun to watch. And I think that to me drastically improved last year. They scored a lot more goals last year than they usually do, and especially like when they won Leagues Cup, the level of footy they were playing was just fantastic. So, but Georgie kind of was part of what had made them more exciting at times, but it was also most definitely a situation where it felt like it was projection and potential at kind of a constant basis. Like, you'd have these games like the Minnesota game you're talking about where you'd be like, man, Georgie did some good stuff. Like maybe if he gets some more run, like he'll start doing that more consistently. And I don't know, it always felt like it was always just like almost there, but not quite. Like, he would have these games where there's two or three really awesome, exciting moments, and you're like, wow. And then there's other games or other moments in the same games where you're like, all right, it's not looking like it needs to be a consistent starter at this level. And so for me, a $2 million bag for a player that is still at this point based on projection and potential, I understand why it's hard to pass up. And I also think that him going to a place where he theoretically is going to get more playing time, that could be beneficial for his career. And we could actually get to find out about this projection and potential in a way that if he stayed here, he might not have been able to. So I get why they did it. If it was me in that situation with the $2 million bag in front of me, I don't know if I can say that I wouldn't have taken it. But my thing coming out of it is like, all right, you got this war chest now. You traded Georgie. You made up a couple other moves where you have all this allocation money. I think you have like $5-6 million war chest at this point. You do have to go do something with that actually improves the team. And I think theoretically, this is money that they can't just spend on Long Acres or whatever. This is the money that you have to spend on the roster. So in theory, I know everyone's going to laugh at it, but in theory, they should actually do something with the money to improve the team this time. But the only thing I would be mad about over it is if they make these moves to get all this war chest of money and then they do the thing that they usually do and just kind of like don't use it. That would be like, all right, well then what are you trading for? What do you have all this money for? But I think it's a long way of saying like the trade was kind of a bummer because Georgie was fun and exciting, but I get it. Like I get why they did it.
Do people just avoid talking about the medical thing? Because it seems like that's a factor.
No, that we definitely don't avoid that. It's just, to me, it's never seems like it affects him that much. Like it really, like you would think it would. It kind of blows my mind, like how
completely blew my mind when I heard that. I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? He doesn't
exactly.
have vision.
You would think there would be like depth perception stuff with that, but like when I watch him play, like any shortcomings he might have, it's never really been in my mind that it has to do with that. Like he is like figured out how to play completely normally and functionally with that. So no, I don't, I mean, it's impossible to know what effect that has, but I've never felt like that was a thing that limits him. Like that's one of the most impressive things about Georgie is that he's been able to make it as far as he has, like overcoming that obstacle.
Yeah. Incredibly difficult players to evaluate where they flash stuff, but you're not quite sure if it's a net negative over the course of 80 minutes, you know?
Yeah. And he does like the speed and the power and the physical gifts and a lot of what he can do. They don't have a lot of on the roster. So that is the argument. Like, you know,
in my incredibly limited sample size, I would agree with that. I was really bummed because I thought Pekovic, speaking of flashing stuff, I thought he was great against Minnesota. So I was bummed to see that dude got hurt. Shout out Pete Kingston, man. It's such a sick story. I love it. He followed the Spokane Soccer Show, and I'm like, got him.
Let's go, Pete.
Got him.
Let's go.
Amazing. That's what I got, man. I just wanted to say hi and plug the April 15th Flatstick Pioneer Square. Let's go.
Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah, no, you're welcome to tap in anytime, Benji. Appreciate you hopping on and laying down some takes, and I'll see you, I guess, in a couple weeks. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, tap in next time as well.
Of course. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, take care. Benji Wade from the Spokane Soccer Show. Go follow them and show them some love. Great show covering Spokane Velocity and all things soccer in Spokane. All right, Caleb, I do have to go, so let's keep this one quick. But I'll get you in here before we wrap it up. No one else tapping in. But Caleb, what's up, man? You're on the stage. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're always like a little.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's crappy stuff on my end. So it's like I apologize to the chat and I apologize to the Scorching Nation. Always.
You're good.
But I just wanted to say, yeah, great game. Paulie prime time again. This is good, but this is not like, we need to do better in Houston. I mean, like, that was our second worst away before historically our number one worst away record. But and yes, we have done better. We have done better. And Paul Rothrock, he has scored. This is great, like teamwork. And you see what happens when Albert's not on the field. So that's a very beautiful thing. I like to see it. And now this question is, I ask you, Ari, before you go, is it going to be worth it, the sacrifice of not playing RSL this week, especially knowing that we're tied for 4th and 5th place, that it has to be rescheduled to September, which that game is scheduled to September. So I'm going to leave you with that. And hey, let's hope the Rusnak Brigade doesn't get any victories, this Wednesday for Champions League.
So the question is, would you rather still have the RSL game now and not have it rescheduled?
Yes. I'm asking you, Ari, because I'm going to ask after the CONCACAF series. After this CONCACAF series, I just want to lay this little riddle of a question for you. That's all I just want to do.
Okay. I mean, I get my first reaction is that I'm glad it got rescheduled, but I mean this is the one that was going to be at Lumen Field, correct? So, I don't really worry about that team. Yeah, I don't really worry about that team at Lumen. I feel like that's kind of the annoying thing about it is they kind of always take care of them at Lumen and then can't do it on the road. But I mean, I guess that team is actually way better than I thought it was. All these young guys they have coming up look hella good. The new DP looks hella good. So I kind of really, I'm just as happy to not have anything to do with them right now and be able to focus on CCC and deal with them later. Cause I don't know, I know you follow RSL, don't they look pretty damn actually good right now? I think they might they might just be a contender.
Well, I mean, again, respectfully, because again, this is about the Houston victory that we've got our jingle bells in Houston, but I just wanted to another added to quick note on that respectfully, because today they've beaten as Ari quote, the professional club of the club of professional wrestling enthusiasts, as you respectfully, because we have to keep it respectfully. They just 3-1 trounced them, and that's what got their goal difference. That's why they're in 4th place, and they could literally, if the playoffs was next week, who would we have to face?
Oh no, I didn't even think of that, but it would be real.
But again, enough of that. Let's not think about that. We have gotten a great resiliency. Schmetzer resiliency still lives on. We got a goddamn jingle bells in Houston. That's a great thing to focus on. And Pedro de la Vega will be coming back soon. A lot of Stuart Hawkins, is coming back soon. And we have Jordan Morris. He's coming back. We have a good squad. Let's just see what this brings. And again, this is still pointing. This is a lot now on Craig, because if he does not pull results, there is that vote this year. And trust me, if we do not want any, if any fumbling, let's see if it's going to be any glorilla of let him cook, big throw come through frying, but again, great win. All the this is what we need. This is the depth. Again, the so-called Craig Weibel's cooking with depth, agenda that everybody wants to say it's working. The jargon, but I just want to see how long this lasts, and we just have to keep on rolling with the punches.
Absolutely. How are you feeling about CCC, Caleb?
How I'm feeling about CCC, I'm gonna be brutally honest. I don't want CCC.
You don't watch it?
I don't want it this year. I do not want it this year. And the reason why I say that,
you actively don't want, if it was given to you, you wouldn't take it.
I wouldn't take it right now. This isn't what I want. And I speak that as for myself and for a true Sounders fan. For myself, I don't speak for anybody else. I really would like for us to just get goddamn Philip. If you know who Philip is.
Philip.
Yeah. Do you know who Philip is?
Maybe. Philip.
It's there's a beautiful silver thing. Yes, two of them. The Philip Anchuch trophy.
Yeah.
And that is something that I think that is going to absolutely put this city back where the heck it needs to be, of being the loudest and proudest, in the Emerald City that you have ever seen. And that is, I speak that heavily because I feel we have used excuses of using all these other trophies and to just get around not being back to what we used to be, of being when we wanted to have Phillip in our hands. And I would love nothing more than Phillip to be put into the Emerald City. And hey, I'll even say that this will even crush all of the Albert Rusnak debate. Will be over. It will be done. You will not be Lord Sidious. I will not be Mace Windu and say, you are under arrest, my lord, and say that the anti-Brusnak brigade has won. You have lost. I don't want to say that. I'm willing to put that on the line, and you can hear me that and quote me that. Like on this, like especially on this episode, to all the scorching faithful too, to hear that. Here's this. I want Phillip, not no CONCACAF. So that's all I got to say.
No, I mean it's a fair take. You know, everyone values the trophies differently. I do like referring to MLS Cup as Phillip. I'm going to steal that, Caleb. That's we're going to start referring to the MLS Cup as Phillip. You've added to
because we got Phillip. Oh, thank you. I would just like to say Phillip is one. Yes, we're gonna get it. Lamar, yes, we got Lamar because for a Lamar Open Cup. Like for the Leagues Cup, I still don't know what kind of name. I don't know what the name of it is. Really, I think they never really gave it a name. But we can call it that. But also, I damn sure want George, aka Cascadia, in our goddamn city, because it has been way too long that since we had George loud and proud and safe and snuggled in the clutches of the ECS faithful. That's our next step. Yes, we beat them last year in our home. That's a great step. Now let's pillage the bastards to the ground respectfully on the field. Not intending real violence. So,
gotta get George back. Need Phillip back. Get them all back.
And then yes. And well, I will sing a little outro if I may before so we can end this all, because I do sing a song since it's the Christmas spirit of a Jingle Bells that we sing. But I do have a little mix for the fans, because it's like I'll just sing it in there, because I'll sing just 5 lyrics of it real quick.
All right.
Because the first thing that Sounders did that pissed off MLS was a CONCACAF in the Emerald City. And the second thing that Sounders did that pissed off MLS, 2 MLS Cups and a CONCACAF in the Emerald City. And the third thing that Sounders did that pissed off MLS, 3 points at home, 3 points away, 2 MLS Cups and a CONCACAF in the Emerald City. And the fourth thing that Sounders did that pissed off MLS, 4 Open Cups, 3 point Sounders, 2 MLS Cups, and a CONCACAF in the Emerald City. One more lyric. Now the fifth thing that Sounders did that pissed off MLS, 5 cups with George. And as Brian quoted, and we're at goal difference because we smashed Portland 6-2. 4 Open Cups, 3 points, Sounders 2 MLS Cups, and a CONCACAF in the Emerald City.
Great stuff, Caleb, as always. I didn't think we would get serenaded tonight, but there we go. All right, man. Any is that it, or you got any last takes or words to bring us home for the evening?
I just wanted to say, well, it is my birthday month, so I just really my birthday's on April 17th, and I just wanted to, give a good shout out to that, and shout out to Peter Kingston for our new first team signing. Up the bridges to Ballard. That Spokane guy, ew. Don't ever want to hear from him ever again. If he wants to, try to talk smoke, come see us come be a man and see me in the bushes. Just got to say that. And be ready for the grandest stage, because I hope and I expect to see none other than Ari and Noah on June 6th at Interbay, when we take on against the Portland Bangers, and I bring my beloved, beautiful tank that I'm usually on the episodes, and other beautiful Lobbing Scorchers episodes, which, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet, please like, share the video, comment, and subscribe. Please, I would love, it would mean everything to see the hyper local activity in the Emerald City, and it would mean so much to see if you guys can come out and come join the festivities. Don't be strangers.
Oh, we'll be there. We've been to a couple Ballard FC games, but we'll be there for that one for sure. I'll commit to that.
All righty. Well, then that's all I have to say. And may you and Noah have a blessed night. God bless America and the Seattle Sounders. Schmetzer resiliency still lives on. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff, Caleb. We'll talk to you next time. Take care. All right. Great stuff from everyone tonight. Thank you all for calling in, helping me out with some co-hosting duties. We made it 2 hours, so great stuff. Another Sounders win. CCC coming up on Wednesday. Nico and I will be back at it for kickoff on Monday. Exciting, historic episode of Kickoff. Don't miss that. We'll be talking CCC. We'll be talking about this game a little bit. We'll be talking about the Petkovic injury and the Pete Kingston signing and all that as well. So big stuff on Monday, but I'm going to call it right there for the evening. Thank you all for another great stream. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Like the video, sub to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, rate 5 stars. See you all on Monday. Peace.